Hi, I'm Cassandra Beaver. I'm a mostly modern quilter, and I also teach quilting and I blog, and I'm a member of the Quilt National Committee.
Yeah. Okay. Cassandra, what's your role with Quilt National and what drew you to this organization?
As a member of the committee, we have the opportunity to work with the staff in determining how Quilt National is going to move forward. And so we bring a perspective from the quilt world to the people that work in the day-to-day operations and plan all of the curation behind all of the exhibits at the Dairy Barn. But we try to bring in that quilt-specific perspective.
Yeah. Okay, so how does Quilt National stand out from other quilt competitions?
What I love most about Quilt National is the wide variety of quilts. So whereas a lot of shows lean heavily into art quilts or heavily into modern quilts, they really combine the two, and it's often there that you see the transition pieces, and you also see work that is just verging on that question of, is this a quilt? So I think it helps stretch the definition of quilting, and it helps us move forward as not only a show, but as quilting as a whole.
Yeah, and I think that leads right into my next question of what qualities make a Quilt National quilt stand out in the competition?
To me, it's always going to come back to the design for what is going to draw people into the Quilt National quilts. And I love when different people go to the show, there is something there that everyone is going to enjoy. And so it is going to appeal to modern quilters, it's going to appeal to art quilters, and I think that traditional quilters are often going to go and they're going to see little elements of what they do in the quilts at Quilt National, and they're going to be able to perhaps stretch their work further because it makes them think about their own work differently.
Okay, so leading into Quilt National 2027, what's the benefit of seeing the show in person?
Any show is always going to be better in person, and when I see quilts online, I'm always drawn in by them, and you see a lot of the big, bold, graphic elements of a quilt, but there's a reward that you get when you see the quilt in person because you get to experience the quilt as a whole from across the room, and then as you move in, all of the best quilts are going to have different levels that you notice different elements as you move closer.
Yeah.
And as you get right up close to that quilt, you're going to be able to tell little aspects, like is there a subtle print here, or how did the stitching interact with a certain element of a certain area or element of the design.
It's like, I see how you did that.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you see Quilt National shaping the contemporary art quilt movement?
I think by stretching the definition of what a quilt is, it allows us to have a forward and back conversation. So maybe we're pushing things right to the very edge of the limit, but that might bring out work in someone else that is going to combine that stretched element to what they are working on now, and be able to pull those elements in and create new work that's moving all of the artwork forward.
So Cassandra, what's been the most meaningful, rewarding part of working with Quilt National?
Quilt National, to me, I am from Ohio, and Quilt National's in Ohio, so I was fairly young when I went to my first Quilt National with my mom, and so it's been fun to see how that show has evolved, and now I get a very small role in shaping how it moves forward.
So if people are watching this video right now and they want to see Cassandra's modern-ish style of quilting, where can we find you online?
So I blog at thenotsodramaticlife.com, and my Instagram is cassandra.beaver.
Well, Cassandra, thank you for sharing your Quilt National story with us.
Thank you.